Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, I'm Fazima Sofyan, and in this video I will share with you guys about culture shock in Egypt. Well, before I explain it to you, let me tell you about the stage of the culture shock. So, there are 4 stages of the culture shock. The first is honeymoon stage, then culture shock, after that adjustment, and the last is acceptance. And now we will run to the first stage, that is honeymoon stage. This stage is usually characterized by an extremely positive feelings, and it becomes almost euphoric because everything is new and exciting to try in that country. In Egypt, we have different culture from Indonesia, so it will be interesting to explore that country, right? Okay, the first we will be amazed by the beauty of ancient buildings in Egypt, and we can explore the famous historical tourism in Egypt. For example, Oasis Siwa, Nile River, and the Great Pyramids of Giza. And then Egypt has many authentic food, so we can explore various food that we have never tasted in Indonesia before, such as kushari and full madames. And then Egypt is also known as a paradise of fruit. Egypt, which has 4 seasons, always has a characteristic fruit in every season. For example, in winter, we can find orange, peach, and strawberry. And in the summer, we can find grapes, mango, and watermelon in every road. Then, the last Egyptians are very welcome and good to the tourists. They will be a good friends even for the first time we met. Okay, now we will go to the second stage, that is culture shock. During this stage, a strong feeling of dissatisfaction and start turning into discomfort. Anger, anxious, and sadness are the characteristics of this stage. The first, generally, Arabs are firm when they speak, especially Egyptian. They are very firm, which almost sounds rude to Indonesian, who are used to speaking slowly and softly to the foreign. But in Egypt, we will be shocked by the firm tone of voice. So, at the first, we will feel afraid and sad when they speak to us. And then, Egypt is known as one of the countries that have bad traffic controls. Egypt bus driver, taxi, and other transportation do not care about the passenger safety. While in Indonesia, the drivers are still always careful when driving. That's cause the people who live in Egypt will feel angry and anxious to use the public transportation. And then many seasons in Egypt make us uncomfortable. It is different from Indonesia, which has only 2 seasons. Egypt has 4 seasons, so it is difficult for us to adapt. Seriously, we can get sick if are recently in Egypt. At this stage, we can feel disturbed and angry because of the changing of the season. For example, because of the winter make us unable to go outside, and we are injured and ask why everyone in Mesir in Egypt can go out in the cold weather. So, for some reason, in this stage, we will feel homesick and we will back to our country because this country is not comfortable for us. But by the time we will move to the next stage, that is adjustment stage. In this stage, we are slowly begin to familiar and comfortable with the people, the culture, and the food in that country. At this stage, we have started to be familiar with the emotion, the culture of the people in Egypt. For example, we have started to force ourselves to do the habit, like when they speak in the firm tone, we as much as possible answer it in the same way. So we'll look strong in front of them. And by doing this, we don't feel like a weak foreigners, but we are slowly starting to accept the habit that exists in their environment. And another example, when using public transportation, we need to force ourselves to be brave. And the next time, we will not feel afraid and anxious when using the public transportation again. And the last is acceptance stage. In this stage is the final stage of the culture shock. We will not have taken the hang of it completely, but we have accept and adopt the habit and the cultural practice of the new country. At this stage, we have accept and comfortable with the habits, weather, and the food that exists in that country. For example, we can go out in the weather, and also we can speak in the firm tone to others. Okay, that's all my explanation about first stage of culture shock in Egypt. And now I want to share to you guys some tips to do and done in Egypt. So here we go. The first thing in that you cannot do if you go to Egypt. The first, for women, motorbikes are not allowed because it's disrespectful for women. But you can drive your own car if you go to Egypt. And the second, if you want to take a photo, you should pay attention to other people around you because the Egyptian didn't like being taken photos by the foreigners. And also, you cannot take a picture in front of political and military buildings because they are very sensitive in Egypt. And for men, if you want to pray to the mosque, never use kain sarung as Indonesian. Because, sorry to say, in Egypt, only use kain sarung after having intimate relation. And okay, and now that some tips you can do in Egypt. The first is you can praise the Egyptian. They like to be praised by others. And then go to the market at night because in Egypt the market is crowded at the night. You can shop in the morning or the afternoon, but it's just very quiet and not crowded with the traders. Okay, I think that are several tips from me if you go to Egypt. And also that's all from me about the culture shock, and I have provided several tips, right? Okay, hopefully we can go to Egypt soon, guys. And thank you so much for your attention. See you next time. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye.